si Brother Rommel Ancheta.
Thank you, Kuya Rick. Magandang gabi po sa lahat. Ako na naman po, kung naalala nyo, 3 weeks ago nung nakita tayo. Welcome po to our Christian Life program. And welcome to, para sa akin po, welcome to a very life-changing experience that you have. And probably, the best thing that might happen to you. Amen? Malapang naman dyan yung mga experience. Hindi mo kaya ko po sinabing probably the best life experience that will ever happen to you. Because for most of us, that is what the Christian Life program is. Ganun po ang description namin kung ano yung Couples for Christ. Yung ibang nakausap ko sa inyo, lalo na nung A Little Night of Music, napansin ko yung iba sa inyo, ay nandito ko kasi napilit ako ni ganito na sinabi ng ninong ko tsaka ninang ko na magpunta dito, ganyan. In fact, pati po ako, parang ganun yung nangyari sa akin. Kumbaga, I joined CRC by force dahil napilit. And in the beginning, parang ganun ang mindset natin. Pero kung titingnan ninyo, bakit kaya itong mga taong to na malamang yung mga naimbita sa inyo, lalo na kapag Sabado, marami naman silang pwedeng gawin. Pwede kayong mag-racket, pwede kayong mag-double job, pwede kayong bumimik somewhere. But why is it that most of them, especially yung mga nag-invite sa inyo, are here? What are they doing here on a Saturday night where you're supposed to have fun, where you're supposed to rest from na isang linggo na nagtatrabaho kayo, na yung karamihan sa iba, nag-close shop pa, sinasarado yung mga tindahan nila. Pero Sabado ng gabi, actually, yung pinakamalaki ang kita nyo dapat. Dahil ito yung time na lahat nasa labas, gumigimik. So why is it that most of the people, especially those who have invited you to be here, are here in Couples for Christ, are here in the CLP, and will be here for the next following weeks? Probably because they had a wonderful experience in their life, that it was so wonderful that they liked it to share with you. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? That they like it to share with you. And so ako po, ang belief ko is that unang-una, that I also want you to take into heart, is that I believe that it was God who brought you here. Sabihin nyo nga yun. Sabihin nyo, it was God who brought me here. Ayan, isa po yan sa pinaniniwalaan ko. Because katulad ng sinabi ni Kuya Rick, at the time that I was about to join, I was so skeptical. Marami po akong tanong sa isip ko. Marami rin akong doubts na, totoo ba to? Itong speaker sa harap dito, alam ba niya sinasabi niya? Gwapo lang siguro siya, pero malamang hindi niya alam yung sinasabi niya. Malamang yun yung iniisip niyo, di ba? Especially yung gwapo siguro siya. Hindi, joke lang. But you know, a lot of people, they have experienced what you're about to experience for the whole week. And for today and for the next few weeks. And allow that to sink into you, allow yourself to experience that. Para makita nyo on what your mga ninong-ninang, your friends, and those who invited you want you to have as well habang nandito po kayo. Alam niyo po, para sa akin, magandang investment, and I actually honor you for being here. Katulad po kami mag-asawa, my wife works at Unilab. I'm also handling a company. Yung isa po ko dito, trabaho ko. And every weekend, doon sa kumpanya that I am leading, weekend po yung malalakas ang benta, you know. But most of the weekends, we actually spend it in Couples for Christ. Why? Because for me, that is the investment na hindi masusukat ng pera. That is the investment na binibigay ko, hindi lang para sa akin, pero sa buhay namin mag-asawa, and para din sa mga anak namin. Dahil yung buhay po namin ngayon, and halos lahat ng nandito ngayon, especially those who have been in Couples for Christ for a long time, you know, have seen and have reaped the fruits of what they have planted. And ano po yung tinanim nila, yung CLP na inattendan nila, that they cultivated for so many weeks. And alam niyo po, ako actually, I'm only 41 years old, di ba? And we've been only married for 11 years. Pero nagsimula po ako, ang ang nag-recruit actually sa akin sa Couples for Christ is actually my parents. Because I started when I was in Youth for Christ. Later on, malalaman niyo yun. Pero parang ganun, pag medyo bata ka, tawag sa'yo Kids for Christ. Pag youth ka na, Youth for Christ. Pag hindi ka na nag-aaral, Singles for Christ, and then Couples for Christ. So, when I was nung bata po ako, ang pamilya namin medyo magulo. Medyo dysfunctional. It was so dysfunctional. Alam niyo po, ang memory ko nung bata ako was that every time nag-aaway ang magulang ko, nagliliparan ng mga plato sa bahay namin. Yung mga baso, nagliliparan yan. And pag nag-aaway ang mga magulang ko, ganun parate. They were very physical, they were very violent. Yung tatay ko po, black belter ng karate, nung binata siya. So kaya nung kinasal sila, medyo nadala niya yun, kaya pag nag-aaway sila, nakikita ko yung tatay ko, pino-45 kick niya yung nanay ko, kinakarate chop niya, tapos yung nanay ko marunong na rin sumangga, ganyan. So since hindi siya marunong magkarate, ang marami siya, baso, tsaka plato, ayun, yun ang pinangahagi siya sa tatay ko, gano'n. So, that was a usual scene sa bahay namin. Meron ba ganun sa inyo? Mabuti, ganyan. And that was the usual scene. Naalala ko rin dati, tuwing nag-grocery yung nanay tatay ko, pag sumasama kami, parating bumibili ng bagong plato, tsaka ng bagong baso, ayun, para may babasagin sila. And that was the usual scene sa bahay namin. Pag nagkakamali kami magkakapatid, gulpi agad kami sa tatay ko. Ganon, very physical. And that's how I grew up. There was a time that, it was so normal in my mind that I thought one day, there was a time na nag-aaway na naman sila na magulang ko. And then little did I know, na yung isa pala sa kanila, yung they were at the brink of separating. And dahil doon, dahil ganun yung mga magulang ko, ang naging background ko naman, dahil ayoko na sa bahay parate, I became very active in a fraternity. I became a leader of 2 fraternities. Tapos, nag-aral ako sa eskwela na puro fraternity din. So medyo napasama ko yung buhay ko. So, to cut the long story short, when my parents joined Couples for Christ, their life as a couple changed. Yung tatay ko po parang parang in-injection ng isang katutak na epidural sa katawan. Alam mo parang walang nararamdaman. Epidural pang babae pala yun. Anesthesia. Ayun. Naalala ko po, nung bata ako, consistent, honor student. But not even once did my dad tell me, galing-galing mo naman. Yung wala lang, Pag sinabi ko, Dad, yung card ko, first honor ako. Yun lang, that's all that I got. Why? Because that was his nature. And most likely, yun ang kinalakihan niya and I think cultural ata yun sa mga Ilocano, yung hindi masyadong nagpapakita ng nararamdaman. And that's how I grew up. But one day, pag uwi ng tatay ko, ang usual scene sa bahay, wala namang pansinan kasi, magigising ka, walang babati sa'yo, that's how it was. But one day, nung parents ko umuwi sila, habang nakaupo ko sa sofa, yung tatay ko 6-footer yun Bigla akong niyakap ng tatay ko, tapos sabi niya, Son, today, I learned that I have to show you and express how much I love you. So, tinignan ako, ginamin yung mukha ko, nakipagtitigan sa akin, sabi niya, I want you to know that I love you so much. Alam mo, pagkatapos ko, nandiri ako. Because he never did that. And it felt so superficial. So sabi ko, baba niyo na ako. Parang nandidiri ako, ganyan. But he became very consistent. And naalala ko nung pag tumatawag sa telepono, yung wala pang cellphone noon, pag tumatawag siya sa telepono, medyo na may memorize ko na, nasa dulo, sasabihin ng tatay ko, Anak, mahal kita, ganyan. So pag alam ko na magbababay na, sige dad, okay na po, sige po, babay, mababa ko na agad because I didn't want that line from him because hindi ako sanay. But he became very consistent with that and then he changed. When he changed, their marriage changed. Dumating yung point na pag nag-grocery kami, wala nang plato. Wala nang baso. Yung plato namin dati na tumatagal lang ng 2 linggo, naging 1 buwan, naging 3 buwan, hanggang siguro for 20 years hindi na sila nagpapalit ng plato unless na lang pag nababasag naturally. So, what am I saying there, mga kapatid? My parents change, and people who are in this room, when they change, the impact of the transformation that will happen to them will affect, number one, their marriage. Pangalawa, it will affect their family life. And when it will affect their family life, their children have also changed. Yung pati yung mga anak nila nagbabago din. And where does it start? It starts with the individual transformation of a person. From the individual transformation of a person to the couple transformation ng pang-asawa hanggang sa buong pamilya, mangyari yung transformation na yun. And that is what the Christian Life program is about. And that is what we're going to talk about for the next few weeks na nandito po kayo. Bawat Christian Life program po natin, kaya kapag naalala niyo po yung poster na nabasa niyo, sabi doon, surround yourselves with people who will help you make your marriage last. Alam niyo po, naalala ko, meron akong kaibigan na matino siya. Pero kumbaga wala siya masyadong kaibigan, pero matindi ang pananalig niya. Tapos very faithful siya sa wife niya. And sabi niya, hindi ko kailangan ng grupo dahil matibay ako bilang individual. Kaya kong panindigan ang marriage namin. Matagal na marriage. Ang aming kasal. Tama ba? Pagsasama. Ayan. But one day, nag-away sila mag-asawa. It was a simple fight. Pag-away nila mag-asawa, yung wife, meron siyang barkada, na ang barkada niya, it's either single or hiwalay sa mga asawa. So, ang sabi ng mga barkada niya sa kanya, alam mo, yung mga lalaki niyan, dapat turuan ng leksyon yan. Huwag mong balikan. Huwag mong pansinin. Umalis ka sa bahay niyo. Tinan mo, matututo yan. So, fast forward, what happened to that couple? Naghiwalay sila with a simple reason that they were surrounded with people who did not have the same goal in mind. And for me, that is the importance of a community like this. Dahil marirealize mo natin na hindi tayo nag-iisa dun sa pagdadaanan natin. Dahil marami tayong kasama sa ating journey in life. And that is what our Christian life is about. Pakilala ko muna po, yan po yung pamilya ko. That's me, my wife, yung kapareho ko po ng shirt na nasa likod. Yan. Dito ka. Punta mo si, Yan, that's my wife. And our 9-year-old son, si Adam, and our 7-year-old daughter, si Kyla. And they're also part of Kids for Christ. And buong pamilya po namin is part of Couples for Christ. So, lahat po kami din, we also went through the CLP. So ano po ba yung expect natin sa CLP? Next. Yan. The goal of our CLP, tatlo lang po. Simple. Number one, a stronger relationship with God. Pangalawa, a renewed commitment to Christian family. Katulad ng kinikwento ko kanina. And third, for us to experience a fuller experience of life. And ito po, very exciting to, and malalaman nyo to later on kung bakit yung mga kasama natin dito, whether mayaman or mahirap, are always here to gather and have fellowship. And sa bawat CLP po natin, tatlong elements din po ang parati natin expect. Number one, a short teaching, kapareho po nito. Pangalawa po, a discussion. So later on po, you will have a group that you can share your thoughts with. And pangatlo, pinaka-importante, kainan. Fellowship. So later on, meron po tayong simpleng inandang food din para hindi naman kayo gutumin. Okay. And in the CLP, there are actually 12 modules for the CLP. Pero yung iba po kinumpress natin. But just for you to know, Module 1 is about the basic truths about Christianity. There are 4 talks in each module. So, God's love, who is Jesus Christ, what it means to be a Christian, and repentance and faith. So yung tonight po, para matapos tayo ng sometime in November, yung orientation po, tsaka yung talk number 1, will already be discussed tonight. So module 1, it's basically basic theology. And probably a lot of things that you will hear are things that you already know, but it will be a good reminder for us to hear again. The second module is the authentic Christian life. So, Christian idea, loving God, loving your neighbor, Christian family, and life in the Holy Spirit. So for our case po, yung talk 5 and 6, we will combine it para medyo mabilis din yung session natin. So module number 2 is basically our response to the basic truth of God's love for us na later on po ma-realize natin. Module 3 is living a Spirit-filled Christian life. So apat din po yung talk, receiving the power of the Holy Spirit, growing in the Spirit, life and mission of couples for Christ, and transformation in Christ. So that is our module. Those are our modules in Couples for Christ. So kaya we ask you to be here for the next few Saturdays so that you will hear that. And katulad po na sabi natin kanina, that is your greatest investment that you can actually give your spouse and your children, because I assure you that this will be one of the best things that can actually happen in your life. And so, that is what Couples for Christ is. Yan po yung pinagdaanan ng bawat miyembro ng Couples for Christ dito. So katulad po na sabi ko kanina, ang gusto ko dito is the sense of community. You are with people who have the same goal in life, to be successful in your marriage, to be closer to God, and to have a fuller experience of life. Siguro po yung iba sa inyo sinasabi, iniisip, and the same thing that other people say, itong mga Couples for Christ na to, minsan yung mga nakikita kong iba kasi parang hindi naman sila Couples for Christ. Do you think that's true? Kasi yung ibang Couples for Christ dyan, yung iba pa nga dyan, naninigarilyo pa hanggang ngayon. Yung iba nga dyan, narinig ko, nagmumura pa rin hanggang ngayon. Do you think that's true? Yung ibang Couples for Christ nga dyan, may kakilala nga akong CFC dyan, sila magkakagalit eh. Sila hindi nagpapansinan. Do you think that's also true? Yes, that is actually true. Because what CFC is actually a group of imperfect people who needs one another so that in their journey in life, they have someone to be with. Kaya po yung mga extremists, ang sinasabi nila, yan simbahan or yung Couples for Christ, maraming hipokrito dyan. Dahil kung ano-ano yung sinasabi nila, pero pag tinignan mo yung buhay nila, hindi naman nila maisabuhay kung ano yung itinuturo sa pulpito or kung ano yung itinuturo sa simbahan. But the reality is, brothers and sisters, none of us in this room are actually perfect people. Do you believe that? None of us in this room are actually perfect Couples for Christ members. None of us in this room are sinless. Katulad nga po na sabi ni Pope Francis, the church is a hospital of sinners. And if you will ask me what Couples for Christ is, to me that's the best description of what CFC is. It is a hospital of sinners. The reason why we are here is because of a basic truth that we are sinners. And we cannot do it alone. We need people to be with us. I need people like them in this journey. Kahit iniisip ko na matibay na kami, pag tinanong niyo ako, yes, matibay kami, but marami pa rin pagkakataon na nagiging mahina kami. Maraming pagkakataon na maraming temptasyon. Maraming pagkakataon na magiging that we will be very vulnerable to the temptation of the evil one. But what is important to me is that I have a group of people who will help me in that journey. And I guess, brothers and sisters, that is the reason why that we have been strong in our marriage for the past 11 years. That is the reason why the people here are very strong in their marriage for the past years. Not because they are perfect, but they surround themselves with people who will help them in their journey. And that is what Couples for Christ is. And that is what you are going to go through for the next few Saturdays. Are you excited about that? Yes. Excited pa kayo doon? Yes, amen. And for our first topic, it is entitled God's Love. Ayan, very basic yung mag-usapan natin. And I'd like to start this by calling on a couple who will tell you about their experience of God's love in their life. Itong couple po na to, hinahangaan ko talaga because they are a very inspiring couple. Pag tinignan mo po sila, they are very simple people, but they are one of the most generous, most genuine people that I know. And I really honor them, and I'm sure matutuwa yung mga inaanak nila na inimbita nila dito. Let's welcome our very good friends, Kuya Herman and Ate Beth Pisa. Palapakan niyo po sila.
Hello, Damar Cats! Joke lang po yan. Magandang gabi po mga brothers and sisters. Lalo-lalo na po yung mga bago nating sinasabi ko na po na member ng community. Ano po ako positive po ako. Lahat kayo ay magiging member ng CFC after the 12 talks or 12 Saturdays and including itong araw na ito. Gaya po ninyo, 12 taon ang nakakaraan. Naimbitahan din po kami. Ang isang dahilan, isang tao na hindi ko po mahindian ng mga panahon yun. Unang-una, kailangan ko siya. Yun ang unang, parang yun ang naging unang dahilan. Pangalawa, bagong lipat ho kami rito sa Cleveland noon. So wala ko kami kilala, galing ko kami ng Santa Cruz. Ay, nga ho pala. Dami ko na sinabi. Ito yung aking may bahay. Si Beth po, si Beth, Elizabeth. Bisa po, dating Paulino. Matuloy ko lang po yung kwento, kasi si Kuya Rommel, narinig nyo naman po yung part ng presentation. So, before itong talk na God's Love, naramdaman po namin yan 12 years ago. Well, mahal naman kami ng Diyos, alam naman natin lahat. At yun nga po, naimbitahan kami ng taong yun, hindi ko maintindihan. So, that's the two very first reasons kaya kami nakasama ng community na ito. Na nung una po, hindi ko sinuseryoso. Siguro yung misis ko seryoso na nun, pero ako hindi. Kasi nga, yun lang dalawang reason na yun ang nasa isip ko. I don't even remember nga ho yung, nung mga panahon yun, nung nag-CLP kami kagaya, ang lagi ko lang natatanda, sinabi ni Brother Rommel kanina, pinakamahalaga raw yung fellowship. Kung ano yung ipakakais sa amin. Kidding aside po, yun po yung naging opening sa buhay namin mag-asawa. Mga anak ko po noon ay isang 6 years old, yung isa 5 years old. So you could imagine, nagsisimula pa lang yung married life namin. Naka-7 taon na po kami, kasi ngayon we are on the 21st na kasal na. So we are very happy na mahal talaga kami ng Diyos sapagkat nabigyan kami ng pagkakataon, tsaka doon sa tao na nag-invite sa amin. Nabigyan kami ng pagkakataon na maging member ng community na ito. Na lagi po akong very proud, lalong-lalo na po sa mga elders, Kasi kahit kalbo ako, medyo bata pa lang. 16 pa lang ako. Joke lang ko yun. Parang ngayon yung nag-joke ko ngayon po, 12 years, exactly 12 years, tama-tama nga po itong date na to. Nung graduate kami ng Christian Life Program. At mula po noon hanggang ngayon, magpapatuloy, lagi po kaming masaya na nagsiserve at saka member nitong community na ito. Kasi ito, sa lahat po ng mga hindi dahil CFC kami, lahat po ng mga organizations na may mga nasamahan na rin naman po ako. Ito hindi perfect. Baka akalain nyo, perfectong organization yata itong pinuntahan natin, huwag tayong bumalik susunod. Parang lahat ng mga tao ron ay walang problema, walang pagkukulang, Hindi ho. Ito ay isang organisasyon na nagpipilit, na mapalapit sa Diyos. So, naglalakbay ho hanggang ngayon. So, may mga pagkakataon na parang lumalayo tayo pero bumabalik. So napaka-importante po itong nasamahan nyo, para sa inyo. Alam ko ho, yung iba sa inyo may mga organizations na na kinabibilangan ngayon. Pero try nyo lang ho na sa inyo sarili, i-evaluate nyo ho. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ang purpose ko lang nun, dalawa, wala nang iba. Pero habang tumatagal ho, yung humahatak na mismo sa akin, yung mga narinig ko, kasi ho after noon, hindi ho naging sapat sa akin yung isang CLP. Yung mga sumunod na CLP ho, kahit tapos na kami, umaten po kami. Para marinig ko ho, kasi wala talaga ho natutuhan nung unang round. Hanggang nakagraduate ako, graduate na pala ako, natapos ko pala yung 12 Saturdays, gano'n. Siguro si Beth naman po ang mag-share tungkol sa pagmamahal ng Diyos sa amin at saka ng community. Salamat po.
Good evening po. So, tama po siya. 12 years ago, nandyan din po kami. And despite po with our, with all the resistances and heavy schedules, nakatapos din po kami ng CLP. And from then on po, we are so blessed. Yung family namin, we're so blessed at hindi ko naman kaya isa-isahin ngayon kasi kulang po isang gabi. Because para po makapag-build tayo ng isang family, kailangan po talaga natin ng isang community. And that sa buhay po namin ay yung Couples for Christ. Ang laking turning point po noon, kasi after the CLP, during the CLP pala, that is our 7th year of marriage. Alam niyo na po yung 7 to 15, yun yung pinaka sinabi nilang dangerous states ng pag-aasawa. Nandun lahat ng problema, yung away, problema sa pagpapalaki sa anak. But with the help of CFC po, hindi po kami nahirapan. So I'm just may share with you yung buhay namin before. Before po, nagsisimba rin kami every Sunday. Pero hindi yung simba na talagang we're eager to go to praise God during Mass. Yun yung parang naging obligasyon lang. Pati mga anak namin kailangan. So, during that time, ako yung nag-struggle na anong schedule ng Mass natin, kailangan magsimba na tayo. And most of the time po nun, lagi kami late sa Mass. Pero after the CLP, nung member na kami ng community, hindi ko po yung ginawa na ulit. Sila na po yung nag-usa. Biglang, sa husband ko po, malaking turning point po nun. Nung nasa Our Lady of Light po kami, naging ano na po siya agad, member ng lay minister of the Holy Communion, naging finance committee na rin siya ng Our Lady of Light. At yung mga anak namin, yung lalaki, naging Knights of the Altar, tapos choir po siya ng sa Our Lady of Light. Tapos ngayon na may parokya na po kami dito, naging mas active pa sila. Knights of the Altar and choir, lector naman po yung babae namin. So baliktad po, kasi ngayon, ako na po yung pinipilit nila. Kasi dahil active sila sa simbahan, kailangan 30 minutes before the Mass, andun sila. So ako naman ngayon yung nalilate. Ako yung hinahatak. So naging baliktad. So yun nga po, we are so blessed and we are very thankful with CFC hanggang ngayon po. Kasi hindi though may mga problema pa rin sa family, pero hindi kami ganun hirap sa mga bata, sa pagpapalaki. Kasi po, meron, nag-start sila with Kids for Christ, and now po, Youth for Christ na po sila. And they were very active po. So, yun na po. Maraming salamat.
Kuya Romel, pwede mo nang ituloy ang God's love.
Ayan. Thank you kay Herman and Ate Beth. And ano yun po, if I was to summarize kung ano yung pagmamahal ng Diyos doon sa, ito sabi ng sabi ko, okay, dito. If I was to summarize, tatlong bagay po that describes God's love in their life, tatlo po, and yun lang po yung pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi. God's love creates, God's love forgives, and God's love redeems. So it creates, it forgives, and it redeems. Siguro po, ganito rin natin ma-define kung ano yung pagmamahal natin sa ating mga asawa. Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you look at your spouse and tell them with your whole heart na mahal nyo sila? Eye to eye. Sige nga. Parang ayaw You know? Yun po. So I will go through this quickly. Number one, God's love creates. Dahil yung di ba sabi po natin, naalala nyo nung high school kayo sa slam book, what is love? Naalala niyo yun, di ba? Normally nilalagay natin, love is like a rosary full of mistakes. Yan, di ba? Pero naalala ko po, number one answer nun is that God is love. And that's actually very theological. Yun po yung pinakatamang sagot doon. That God is love. And with the very nature of God, who is very loving, sabi nga, love is not love when it is not shared. So if God is love, and He wants His love to be shared, what He did was He basically created us. He created the world, and then later on, He created man. In His image and likeness, He created man. So ganun po tayo kamahal ng Diyos. That He created us in His image and likeness. Hindi ka mukha ng mga baboy, o minsan, tumataba tayo, hindi ka tulad ng mga kabayo, or hindi ka tulad ng mga insekto, but we were created in the image and likeness of God. And in history, yung kinreate po ng Panginoon na tao, time and again, and hanggang ngayon po, imagine yung creation niya, nagkakasala sa Kanya, but what did God do? What He created, He forgave, and He redeemed. Meron pong storya ng isang isang robotics engineer. Yan po kasi yung pangarap ng panganay ko gusto niya maging robotics engineer. Imagine yourself, if you were a robotics engineer, gumawa po kayo ng isang robot, tapos ang purpose nyo dun sa robot na yun, kunwari maging cook ninyo sa bahay ninyo, yung robot na yun. Tapos program nyo na yung robot na yun, magluluto ng pinakamasasarap na pagkain. And then after so many days of working hard for it, yung robot ninyo, nagawa ninyo. And of course, you will say that, wow, what a wonderful creation, di ba? May tayo yung robot nyo, gumagawa ng ano ba mga paborito nyo? Kalderetang baka, yun ang favorite ko eh. Na may ginataan, tapos pag nag-chop siya, perfect, di ba? Ang galing. Tapos pag nag-serve siya, napakasarap. And you will say, galing! Ang ganda ng creation ko. But, what if the time comes that the robot that you created, nung una ang galing mag-chop, biglang binabato na kayo nung kutsilyo niya? You know, what would you do? What will you do with that robot? Diba? You will shut it down, you will reprogram it so that it can serve its purpose. You know? But that is not what God did. Kahit nagkakasala tayo, He gave us free will. And most of the time, that's what we do. You know? We throw knives at the Lord. What the Lord, He did not shut us down. He did not reprogram us. But He allowed us to grow in our freedom. And what the Lord does, He gives us grace. And that is what love is, brothers and sisters. Yun ang ginagawa sa atin ng Panginoon. Pangalawa, God's love redeems. Sabihin nyo nga yun? Redeems. Sabi po dun sa Luke 15, I'm sure alam niyo yung storya ng Luke 15. It is the parable of the prodigal son. Mga tatlong pala. Isa pa. Tapos na siya, isa pa. Isa pa. Yan. Doon sa simulahan na prodigal son. Yan. After yan. Sabi dun sa parable of the prodigal son, Luke 15. Isa pa. One more. One more. Doon sa may mga arakuhal. Forward, hindi backward. Yan. Sabi doon sa Luke 15, he's ganun. There was a man who had two sons. The younger one said to his father, eto, alam niyo na ito story na to, di ba? Father, give me my share of my estate. So, ang ginawa ni tatay, he divided it to their sons. In the Jewish tradition, siguro hindi lang sa Jewish tradition, hanggang ngayon, pag yung anak, hiningi niya yung mana niya sa tatay niya, it means that you are as if telling to your father, I want you dead because I want my inheritance now. Ganun ka-arrogante yung batang anak na yun. Next slide. Sabi doon, not long after that, the young son got together all he had, set up a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. So nakapag-inuman siya, nagpakalasing siya, ginastos niya lahat ng pera niya. Next, sabi doon, after he had spent everything, there was a severe famine, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country. So ang ginawa niya, nagtrabaho siya, dahil naubos ang pera niya, nagkaroon ng crisis doon sa country, tapos nagtrabaho siya para magpakain ng baboy. So nung kasama niya yung mga baboy, sabi niya, ano ba yung nangyari sa akin? Next slide. Yan. Sabi niya, ano ba itong nangyari sa akin? Hindi pwede to. So, nag-rehearse siya sa utak niya. And I want you to remember this. Nag-rehearse siya sa utak niya, sabi niya, naku, nakakahiyaman, pero babalik ako sa tatay ko. And ano ba sasabihin ko sa tatay ko? Aha, 3 bagay. I will tell him 3 things. Sabi niya, what are those 3 things? Sabi niya, I will go back, send out to go back to my father and say to him, Father, number 1, I have sinned against heaven and against you. Pangalawa niyang sasabihin, I am no longer worthy to be called your son. And pangatlo niyang sasabihin, make me like one of your hired servants. So ilan yung linya na pinractice niya? 3. Sabi niya, I have sinned against you, I am no longer worthy to be called your son, and ituring mo ako na katulad ng mga ibang servants mo. So pinapractice niya yun. Nagkasala po ako sa'yo, I'm not worthy to be called your son, and treat me as if I'm one of your hired workers. So pinapractice niya po yun, yung 3 bagay na yun. And so what he did, next slide. Sige ba? Sorry. Yan. So he got up and went back to his father. But while he was still a long way off, habang malayo pa siya, sabi doon, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. Yung highlight ko po dito ako na-struck. Sabi doon, while he was still a long way off, habang malayo pa lang siya, nakita na siya ng tatay niya, and yung tatay niya ran to his son. Sino na po naka-experience niyo na naglayas ang anak ninyo? Meron ba? Taas ang kamay? Wala pa? Grabe, pabait nyo. Sa amin, parang 2 beses na. Hindi ako yung naglayas, yung mga kapatid ko. You know, and it was heartbreaking. Totoo, taas ang kamay kung sino yung naka-experience ng nilayasan na ng mga anak. Talaga naman. Ganyan po talaga pag nagko-couples for Christ, hindi na sila. But you know, when I was younger, I remembered my siblings. So, dahil nag-away sila, naglayas yung mga nanay-tatay, hindi pala yung nanay-tatay ko naglayas, yung mga kapatid ko. And it was so heartbreaking for me to see my mom and my dad, hindi po sila nakakatulog. Yung dad ko po, medyo manhid nga yun. Actually, yung dad ko walang pakialam yun. But, in this story, it was saying, no, habang malayo pa yung anak, nakita na siya ng tatay. So what does that mean? It means that the father has been waiting for his son to go back home. Inaantay niya ng matagal na. And so, what happened? He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Next slide. So sabi doon, then the son said to him, sabi ng anak, ito na, sasabihin ko na yung 3 pinractice ko. Sabi niya, Father, number 1, I have sinned against you. Pangalawa, I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. And before he was able to say the 3rd line, the father cut him off and said, but the father said to his servants, quick, bring me the best robe. Lagyan niyo siya ng singsing and the sandals on its feet. Bring the fattened calf. So imagine, habang pinapractice nung anak, yung sasabihin niya, nakakadalawa pa lang siya, pinatigil na siya ng tatay niya, and the father gave him what? The best robe, the ring, the sandals, and the fattened calf. You know? So imagine, that is how much the father loved the son. Nag-aantay siya ng matagal, and probably was asking himself, is this the day that my son will come home? Siguro pangalawang araw, is this the day that my son would come home? And then when he saw his son from afar, the father did not wait. Tinakbo niya, sinalubong niya, niyakap niya, and suddenly sinabi niya, I don't care what you did, but I will give you the robe, the ring, the sandals, and the fattened calf. And I will celebrate because you have come back as my son. And you know, this is our love story with the Lord. You know, this is our love story with the Lord because for a long time, we have been living a life that is not meant for us. A life that is probably not pleasing to our Father. But what the Lord is telling us, and that is how much God loves us, the Lord is simply waiting for us to go back home. None of our explanation would ever hinder the Lord from giving us the ring, the fattened calf, the sandals, and His hugs and kisses. Because the Lord is simply waiting for us to go to Him. And ganun po tayo kamahal ng Panginoon. So it is as if the Lord is saying, you know, while you are doing that, I have prepared you your ring, I have prepared the fattened calf, I have prepared your sandals. Hinanda ko ang buhay na masagana para sa iyo. All you have to do, my son, is come home without any explanation. And I will bring this to you. I will give this to you. Do you believe that, brothers and sisters? Do you believe that that is what the Lord has prepared for you? That is what the Lord has prepared for you. Third and last is that God's love redeems. Because what the Lord did, He did not just wait for you to come home, but what He did, katulad na sabi ni Pope Francis, God's love is expressed in the offering of His only Son. What He did was He basically gave His only Son for us. Alam mo, may nabasa akong story sa England. Sabi doon yung drawbridge, alam niyo yung drawbridge, yung London Bridge is falling down. Pag sa England po kasi, pag may tumatawid na barko, yung tulay, umaangat na ganun. So kaya siya umaangat kasi mataas yung barko para yung barko makatawid doon sa drawbridge. Ano ba Tagalog ng drawbridge? Tulay na dinodrawing. Hindi, joke lang. Basta yung tulay na yun, umaangat yun pag may dumadating na barko. Ngayon, yung tulay na yun, merong operator. So the operator, basically, ang trabaho niya lang, he will wait there. Tapos pag may dumadating na barko, iaangat niya, may mechanism siya. So the gears, mag-iikot yun. Pag umikot yung gears, dahil ano niya, ang pinindot niya, aangat yung tulay, tapos makakadaan yung barko. One day, that man brought his son. Tapos sabi ng anak niya, Tay, pwede ba ako maglaro habang wala pang barko? Sabi niya, sige anak, okay lang, maglaro ka hanggang gusto mo. So naglaro-laro siya, yung anak, yung tatay, nag-aantay, and then before they knew it, the father heard, may barko na dumadating. So habang nakita niya yung barko, hinahanap niya yung anak niya, hindi niya makita yung anak niya. But then, the boat, the ship, which contained thousands of people, were fastly approaching. Palapit ng palapit yung barko. Tapos hinahanap pa rin niya anak niya, hindi niya makita. Hanggang nung malapit na yung barko, and he had to make a choice. Nakita niya yung anak niya naglalaro doon sa mga gears. Doon sa, ano Tagalog ng gears man? Yung mga umiikot na mechanism para umangat yung drawbridge. And so nakita niya yung anak niya nandun. Nasa ilalim ng drawbridge naglalaro. And alam niya, kapag pinindot niya yung button that will lift the drawbridge, may ipit yung anak niya and mamamatay. But if it will not do it, thousands of people will die because it will ram, sasagasaan ng barko na yun, yung tulay. So what the man did, he told his son, I love you. And then he pressed the button, and then the drawbridge started to move. Yung gears started to move. Naipit doon yung anak niya. It crushed the body of his only son, and then the son died. But the drawbridge lifted, and thousands of people were partying inside the boat. And little did they know that a man saved their life by sacrificing his son. You know, it was a true story in England. But whenever I listen to that, whenever I hear that, sabi ko, parang ganun ang pagmamahal ng Panginoon sa atin. We are like the people in the ship. But what the Lord did was to sacrifice His Son so that we can live. And ganun tayo kamahal ng Panginoon. That is is how the love of the Lord is shown to us through that story. And so to conclude, brothers and sisters, I'd like to share with you one of my favorite verse. It says in Jeremiah 29, "For I know very, very well the plans I have for you, plans for a welfare and not woe, plans for a future full of hope." So, ano po ang sinasabi nito? I think, brothers and sisters, that the Lord has a very beautiful plan for us. And I think the reason why He brought you here is because He wants that beautiful plan to happen. But just like the Son, the Lord is asking us, and the Lord wants us to realize how much He loves us. And when we realize that the Lord loves us, the only way for us to actually experience the fullness of His plan is when we respond to the love of God for us. Is for us to actually respond doon sa pagmamahal ng binigay sa atin ng Panginoon. You know, and just like the Father, you know, God is waiting for us to respond. God is waiting for us to come to Him. Last story po, mayroong isang barbero tsaka isang Kristiyano na nag-usap. Yung Kristiyano, nagpunta siya sa barbero. So habang ginugupitan siya, nagkwentuhan sila. Yung kwentuhan nila, kwentong barbero, kasi barbero yung nagugupit. Yun, joke lang. So, habang ginugupitan nung barbero, yung Kristiyano, sabi nung Kristiyano, "Oh, kumusta ka ngayon?" Sabi niya, "Okay naman, mamang Kristiyano. Ikaw, kumusta ka naman?" Ito, ramdam na ramdam ko ang pagmamahal ng Panginoon." Sabi ng barbero, "Buti ka pa. Dahil ako, alam mo, sa totoo lang, hindi ako naniniwala sa Diyos." So, nagulat yung Kristiyano. "Talaga, bakit naman?" So, habang nilugupitan siya, sabi niya, "Alam mo, mamang Kristiyano, kung totoong may Diyos, bakit yan? Si Aling Tekla, bakit naghihirap siya? Bakit naghihirap siya sa buhay niya kung totoong may Diyos? Bakit hinahayaan ng Diyos na maging ganun siya?" Ito, si Paring Vic. Bakit si Paring Vic? Bakit lasing tuwing gabi? Bakit sawan-sawa sa buhay niya kung totoong may Diyos? Kung totoong may Diyos, bakit ganyan ang nangyari sa buhay niya? So yung mamang Kristiyano, hindi siya makasagot. Hindi siya sumagot. Ngayon, habang ginugupitan siya, may dumaang lalaki sa harap ng barbershop. Yung dumaan na lalaki, subungadong buhok, tapos nakatilintas lahat, tapos sobrang haba. Tapos alam mo yun, may mga langaw na umiikot doon sa ulo ng mama. Tapos ang daming gumagapang doon sa buhok niya. Sabi ng mamang Kristiyano, "Alam mo, mamang barbero, hindi ako naniniwala sa mga barbero." So nagulat yung barbero, "Bakit naman?" Sabi niya, "Kung totoong may barbero, yan, nakikita mo yan, yung mamang yan, bakit ang haba ng buhok niya? Bakit ang daming lumilipad sa buhok niya, tas ang daming gumagapang na insekto doon sa buhok niya? Kung totoong may barbero, dapat hindi siya nagkakaganyan." Sabi ng barbero, "Ayan, tigas ng ulo niya. Sinabi ko na sa kanya, punta lang siya rito, akong bahala sa kanya, gagawin ko siyang magandang lalaki. Ayaw niyang lumapit sa akin eh. Anong gagawin ko? Kung ayaw niyang lumapit sa akin, hindi ko pwedeng ipilit ang sarili ko sa kanya." And the Christian man said, "Then I rest my case." Because that is like the love of God to us. The Lord will never force Himself to us, but He will simply continue to make us feel how much He loves us. How we respond to God's love will spell out the difference of the kind of life that we live. And how we respond sa pagmamahal ng Diyos will truly bring us to the future full of hope that the Lord has prepared for us. So brothers and sisters, let us respond to the love of God so that we can truly experience a future full of hope from the Lord. Maraming salamat po mga kapatid.
Thank you very much. Our chapter head, Rommel Ancheta.